With Jingliu coming out very soon, we need to get our accounts ready with all the stuff possible in order to be able to use her on day one. So that means we have to have the right teammates and also the best relic sets ready so that when Jingliu comes out, we can already use her on day one and absolutely eviscerate everything in Honkai Sorrow, because as we may know, she looks absolutely insane from what we've seen so far. We've seen a lot of her kit to the point where we can easily see what characters are going to benefit being with her and what characters aren't going to be so beneficial with her. There's just a lot of stuff we can talk about, but we're going to be talking about the characters and the best relic sets when it comes to pre-farming for Jingliu. So go ahead and start talking about the characters that are going to be absolutely amazing with Jingliu. Let's go ahead and start with the first character I mentioned that's going to be absolutely insane. If you already watched the video that I posted beforehand talking about why Jingliu is going to be so strong, and it is going to be Blade. Blade by far is going to be one of Jingliu's best partners and one of the partners that I'm super excited for when it comes to putting those two on a team. Because as we may know, Jingliu is going to have two different forms, one in her base state and one in her transcendent state. When she's in her transcendent state and she ends up using her skill, because that's the only thing you can use, which does take up a stack, she is going to lower the HP of all allies. Now with that being said, guess who's going to be majorly affected by this and also a big plus to them that they are taking damage, and that's going to be Blade. Blade is going to get an extra stack of whatever he needs to get his follow-up attack out, and that is going to do some massive damage. So not only is Jingliu doing this passively because she is doing the damage that she's doing in her transcended form, Blade is going to benefit from that as well, giving you a chance to hurry up and get your follow-up attack out, because as we already know, Blade has many different ways to get his stacks up, from actually getting hit from multiple different enemies, from being able to normal attack, and also using his ult above 50% HP. There's a lot of different ways he can get his stacks, and just stacking Jingliu's HP drain on top of that, he's just going to be doing 50 million follow-up attacks in the same rotation, doing it so many times in one turn, while Jingliu is doing her own thing as well. And another amazing thing is that they're both SP neutral. Blade only uses one skill point to do 3 attacks, and then Jingliu does 2 attacks to basically perform 4, or if you want to count it in skill points, 3, because you're going to be able to do 2 skills in the transcended form, the ultimate, and then you're going to get the stack back from that and do another skill. Just overall really amazing stuff that we're going to be seeing with Blade and Jingliu together. Overall, madness, I cannot wait. That is by far my favorite duo that's going to be coming out very soon, because you all know that I love using Blade that much. But now talking about another character that's going to be very great with Jingliu, it is going to be Pela. Now Pela for sure is already a unit that a lot of people have already built on, because she's just that great of a unit. She's AoE full wave defense shred, because why wouldn't you want to level up this character? Now if you haven't already leveled up this character, you should go ahead. She's going to be absolutely amazing, and not only Jingliu's team, but for many teams in the future and current teams that are already available. There are a lot of DPSs in the game currently that offer a lot of AoE damage, and for the most part, with characters like Silverwolf, with characters like Bronya, or other characters that debuff a single person, or so you're basically just supporting one character and you have single target damage, you're only going to be able to hit that one character. But with Pela, when you give her the full wave AoE defense shred, especially for characters like Imbibitor Lune, Jingliu, Blade, these characters that can benefit from having multiple enemies hit, Pela's defense shred is going to be exponentially more worth in value, and especially if you take into account Blade and Jingliu being on the same team, doing a lot of adjacent damage, doing Blade's full wave clear of his follow-up attack, there's going to be an overall insane amount of damage increase when it comes to having Pela on the team. Now another thing to consider as well, for those that have been summoning on a lot of the banners coming out, Pela has been featured a bunch of different times, and with that being said, if you have E4, there's another reason that you would want to level up Pela for Jingliu, because as we may know, E4 is going to give you ice penetration for Pela, and it's just absolutely nonsense how much damage you're going to be doing extra if you're putting the defense shred on them. If you're going to be having ice penetration on them, you're going to be giving Blade a lot of damage, you're going to be giving Jingliu a crazy amount of damage, and not only that, Pela is an extremely SP positive character. She basically never has to skill, in all honesty, and not only that, she gets her ultimate super fast, especially if you have the limited time light cone, which is before the tutorial mission starts. If you don't have this, Resolution Shines is a really good light cone as well to run on this. So you do want to end up having Pela built, you want to have Blade built, and for the sustain characters that you want built, or also talking about the support as well, besides the debuffer, let's go ahead and talk about the support, because the sustain character is a little iffy right now. Now, another character that would be really great to build is definitely going to be someone like Tingyun or Bronya. Basically, characters that are going to help you not only increase your speed. Asta could technically work, but Bronya and Tingyun, in my honest opinion, would be a little bit better, especially more Bronya, just because with Jingliu, when she uses her skill, she's going to get a stack towards the stacks that she needs to be able to transcend. And when Bronya comes out into the play, she's going to be giving Jingliu constant skills. And guess what? That just means you get to enter your form earlier and you get to do more damage quicker. So of course, Bronya by far is going to be one of the better supports to put with Jingliu for 100%, because you're going to get that damage dealt buff. You're going to get the crit damage buff. You're going to get faster turns, which lets you get into the form way faster. And this is going to overall help your damage by a fat ton. Now, characters like Tingyun, she can help slightly with giving, you know, the attack buff, with also giving the damage dealt buff. She also has speed on Eidolons. She can give you energy so that you can get your stacks faster when it comes to using her with the stacks that you get from the ultimate. There's a lot of different ways you can play with these characters to make them work with Jingliu. So overall, Tingyun, Bronya would be absolutely amazing support characters to have on them. Asta, not so much. The speed increase will help again with having her do her ultimate more, and also getting her stacks quicker with being able to take more turns. But overall, Bronya, Tingyun, the best support that you could possibly put with Jingliu, of course, because they're just amazing on any team, in all honesty. And also putting that on top of everything we've already said, Bronya especially, if you give the ult to a team of Bronya and Blade and Jingliu, you're going to be buffing their damage again. So yes, Blade and Jingliu are just going to be absolutely eating, and their stocks are going to be insanely up. Looking at characters like Pela, looking at characters like Bronya, who are going to have their value shoot up in value just because they're going to affect way more than just one character. They're not going to be supporting one character, nor are they going to be not supporting or debuffing the multitude of enemies that are going to be on the field. They're both AoE, which is going to make them work so well with basically the partners that we've been setting up for Jingliu. Now, when it comes to sustains at the current moment, I'm not 100% sure who is by far going to be the best character to sustain Jingliu. Now, a lot of people, of course, are going to say Luocha, but the problem is with Luocha, if you don't have his field up, you are definitely going to suffer a lot with Blade taking up all his HP, of course. And of course, he can heal himself, but he does really make himself lose a lot of HP in the process of him doing his normal attacks, setting himself down to 50%, because you really want to get that damage in so you don't really wait until you're under 50% to do it. And then also Jingliu is going to be draining HP on top of all your allies. So yeah, there's a lot of damage that's going to be coming out from this. So not only is the healing going to be very scarce, because yes, that auto heal will be taken away super quick, especially by Blade himself, because he just loses so much HP by himself on top of Jingliu's HP passive. This is going to be very hard for him to sustain the whole team. Now, of course, if you do get the field out and you have Luocha very slow, this can help offset the amount of turns that you're going to have to worry about healing, because as you may know, Blade is going to get those follow-up attacks that's going to heal the whole team if Luocha's field is up. Blade's hits is going to heal the team. Jingliu is going to heal the team. Luocha is going to heal the team if they have the field up. So having a slower Luocha will help, and that can help in regards to the HP that you're going to lose. But I don't know. It seems that in certain situations, Luocha might not be able to make it in time to be able to heal these characters. And then for Xuan, this is also what I don't know as well, which I can't wait to test, is that is Xuan's damage mitigation going to stop Jingliu's attack buff that she's going to get from sucking the HP out of your allies? That is something I want to test, because I don't know if the HP boost or the attack boost or whatever boost that you get for Jingliu when it comes to taking up HP from your allies is deducted right when you hit them, or is it after Xuan's mitigation that you get the boost from her damage or her attack boost from the damage? So that's something I really want to test when we get the chance to test it when she releases. So make sure to stay tuned for that, because I will be testing, because that is something very important. Because if Xuan doesn't mess with Jingliu's HP passive, then that will be absolutely amazing. 100% Jingliu will be a really great character to have, because that would be absolutely amazing. Xuan would be an absolutely amazing character to have with Jingliu, because of course you have the CZ resistance, the crit rate buff, the max HP buff. There's a lot of really cool things to have with Xuan. But if losing your HP is going to make a detriment to the buff, and we don't know how big of a buff, but how big of a buff that's going to be for Jingliu, then we're gonna have to wait and see. So far, Luocha, we don't know if he can sustain all these factors taking away HP, especially if the field is not up and the auto heal is not gonna be up because Blade is doing Blade things. Also, Xuan, we don't know if she's going to prevent Jingliu from being able to get the max amount of attack that she's going to be getting from the HP passive. And then that leaves us with Natasha, Japard, and also Lynx. I think in my honest opinion, maybe Lynx, if you have her cracked down in speed, might work very well with this team because you have AoE cleanse, you have a panic button heal, you can also put the destruction heal on the blade, helping him tank, making him the tank of the team. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. I do think characters like Lynx and Luocha can possibly make a difference in regards to helping her stay alive and helping her team stay alive, and maybe even Xuan if she doesn't mess up the passive. But overall, Xuan, Luocha, of course, are going to be good enough to do so. I'm just worried that, you know, the HP sucking and also the passive that comes from her attack buff might, you know, mess up with Xuan. But Xuan being able to heal, mitigate, that's going to overall just help the team overall. So it might be able to offset the amount of damage you're losing. So that's something to look at that. Now, looking towards the relics that you want to grind, of course, I think there's only one set or maybe even two possible sets that you can run. For sure, 4-piece ice is by far most likely going to be the most viable one. You're going to get the ice damage bonus. You're going to get the crit damage bonus after your ultimate, which is going to make you do so much more damage, especially if you're using it in her transcendent state. So this is something that you really want to look out for. And then the other set that you could possibly use might be ice set with musketeer, so you get the attack boost with the ice boost, or maybe the ice set with the hacker space set, so you get some speed, letting her do her turns quicker. And with her turns being quicker, you get her in her transcendent state, which is going to make it a lot faster for you to do more DPS with Jingliu. There's a lot more things to look at. I just wanted to show some extra examples of relics and sets you can mix and match, because I know not everyone has been grinding the ice set. We had a lot of characters that didn't need it. Yangqing, Herta, these characters you don't really use the ice set for, and all the other ice characters use a different set. So if you do have these ice set pieces, go ahead and use them. If not, musketeer and hacker space might work very well with them. Of course, we need to test it all, but these are hypotheticals. But in that's going to be it for this video. Make sure to go ahead and grind all the stuff that you possibly need to do when it comes to the characters, the relics, and also the destruction traces as well, because we do have the event up for double traces and double XP and double credits. Make sure to take advantage of that. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I want to end the video. See you on the next one, and peace.